Hi guys, this is Theodora, and today I'm gonna be reviewing some podcasts that I listen to on a regular basis. Now, some of them are more law inclined, while others have more general business and finance content. But I think the right way to listen to podcasts is to make a combination between those two so that it's both useful and enjoyable for you to listen to them. I think podcasts are great because you can listen to them while doing something else like walking or eating. And at the end of each episode, I always try to recall a few key takeaways so that I can make sure my mind didn't slip away while listening to it. I also think that podcasts are great because of the conversational nature, and it makes the content a lot easier to grasp than if you are reading it. And just as a disclaimer before we get into it, I won't be mentioning the TSL podcast because I might seem biased, but I obviously think you should listen to that one. So the first podcast that I listen to is the FT News Briefing, which is a Monday to Friday podcast with 10 minutes long episodes. And it analyzes a few main business stories each day, which I think is great if you don't have time to read the FT some days. Despite being short, I think it's quite dense in content and it has great analysis. And another great thing about it is that sometimes it brings experts to give short interviews on a story, which is something you won't find in the written version of that article. And it's also very good preparation for interviews because it shows you how news stories can be summarized in a few minutes and how to extract the main takeaways. The second one is called the Commercial Awareness Podcast, and it's one episode a week. It has longer episodes, they last for like 20 minutes, and it unpacks the biggest headlines of the week and usually features like 2 or 3 longer reads. What I really like about this one is that it is targeted for aspiring commercial lawyers, and it always considers the implication of a news story for law firms, and this is something that the other podcast won't do. I also like that it explains all jargon terms in a very beginner-friendly way, and it helped me understand a lot of terms very easily. And it sometimes features longer interviews with partners, which are also very useful. So recently they've been diversifying their content, which I think is great. Another one is the finance-focused podcast, which doesn't have a regular posting day, but it usually features a few episodes a week. Originally, they only did the 5-minute briefing podcast, which was similar to what the FT was doing, but now they focus on a single story per episode for like 10 minutes. And even though it's not specific for aspiring lawyers, it has great insight into the finance world and it covers a wide range of topics. What I really like about it is that you can find a written version of the episodes on the website so that if you forget something or you want to take notes, you can do that. And I really recommend an episode which is called Phase-by-Phase Analysis of an M&A Deal, which is probably the best short breakdown of an M&A deal I've heard. It's super clear and comprehensive, and I think if you just want to get a brush up of an M&A deal, you should listen to that one especially. The fourth podcast that I listen to is Money Talks from The Economist, which is a weekly podcast focusing on the most important financial news. It has longer episodes than the others, and it's less conversational and more formal, I think. But it covers stories like the TikTok clash, the controversy over Huawei, the state of the economy after lockdown, and it has more in-depth analysis than other podcasts. And lastly, you can find a lot of law firm podcasts, and the ones I listen to are the Slaughter and May podcast, the Freshfields podcast, and Linkubator by Linklaters. So regarding the first one, the Slaughter and May podcast, it features Slaughter's lawyers which discuss various topics from working at home to pension law developments and to M&A. Episodes are not very long and they are quite easy to follow, and what I really like about it is that you can find the transcript of each episode on their website and you can save it for future reference. The Freshfields podcast is also a more formal one. Their lawyers discuss business and regulatory matters in a lot of detail, and it's good for a more in-depth understanding of certain practice areas. For example, they have a 45-minute episode on antitrust. And because episodes are longer, they're also a lot more complex, and I think you need to already have a solid base of knowledge to understand them. I pause them sometimes to look up terms. Linkubator by Linklaters is a more accessible podcast because it is trainee-led and it covers legal tech and innovation developments. So you should listen to this one if you're interested in these sectors or if you're preparing for an interview where you know you might have a discussion on legal tech. Thank you guys for watching. That was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if so, please like it and subscribe to our channel, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions or any suggestions for future videos. Thank you.